probably work on Aeolus.
Hey, shh.
All right, let's get into it. Previously, the group of you have finally returned to Elderthorn. A bit roundabout. You stopped by Siegfried's parents' home. It's halfway between Elderthorn and the mines on the lower slopes of the cloud spine. But you have finally returned. Helleras, you stopped in and checked in with Gogrun and learned that at some point during your absence, Elderthorn was assailed and successfully repulsed the would-be raiders, a band of gnolls, with some degree of damage and a few outward farm homes burned, but nothing that'd be too difficult to recover from. There was some loss of life, but not so much. Tragedy all the same, though. He expressed gratitude that you were not here, and that expression was met with Aeolus and Siegfried also expressing disappointment that they were not here to help defend Elderthorn against the would-be raiders. Once they made their report with Captain Brath's storm surge at the keep, you filled him in on the goings-on of the purported passageway through Urcrypt to Brigand Hold, which is suspected to be one of the pirate strongholds. And we've picked up, after Aeolus has taken the time to identify a few of the items the group of you now carry. The evening is yours. You've reconvened at this point in the Faded Gate. Is there anything the group of you need to do before you turn in?
I can think of.
Nothing that I have to do, but Aeolus will return to the keep as the night ends.
Okay. You do have a home. Is there anything in particular you're doing at the keep?
Just grabbing all of the supplies that I temporarily had at the keep and moving it to the homestead.
Noted. Easily enough done. It takes you about an hour's worth of time, presumably some degree of a light buzz from bukas when you are doing the work, but it's a warm summer night at this point for you, so nothing unpleasant there. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to accomplish during this time before you turn in?
Nothing in particular. I think Daniel would just catch up with Buka, enjoy some ale, and some cooking from her. Maybe chat around with some people to catch up.
Sounds good. Roll me a persuasion check. Just as you're gathering information, just for the local scuttlebutt. All right, 10. A lot of the conversation currently seems to be focused on what pushed the band of gnolls to make the raid on Elderthorn, which is generally determined to be relatively well defended location. And you do pick up in conversation that the gnolls did bear some of the markings of the Drucon expanse. Which, you know the space. It's a savanna and grassland. You've traveled over the southern part of it when you went to deal with the Skyfire clan. It is basically it borders the upper edge of the Pinwood all the way to the desert to the north between you and Armskirk.
And here, right?
Yeah, pretty massive swath of space that is known to be home to some wandering gnoll tribes amongst other creatures. But more people are surprised that they attacked Elderthorn than anything else.
It's like the first time that ever happened.
Not the first time,
in
but
that size, that scale.
Yeah, a lot of people think they were exceedingly desperate.
All right.
But nothing else really comes up from the scuttlebutt.
So nobody has a clue what their intentions were, or that they just were starving.
I mean,
that's the main.
Normal raiding by the gnolls involves taking supplies and slaves, which are usually later eaten, and otherwise harming the community such that it is an easier target to raid on successful attempts in the future. So that's things such as like burning down natural defenses, destroying homes, breaking walls, things that if they come back in a month's time will most likely not be entirely repaired yet, and then it is a softer target for future raids.
Oh.
It's the gnolls' version of pruning a vegetable garden, except the vegetables in this case are Drucians.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, great.
But by and large, a lot of people think that the town defended itself rather successfully.
Did you see like a kind of leader? Because usually gnolls hunt in packs, and they usually gather around some strong gnoll. Did you, by any chance, see or did you hear? As I'm asking.
Roll me a d4.
Three.
Okay. The Tabaxi, who's been sort of half involved in some of the conversations that you've been going on, is sipping their beverage from this really thick glass, and chimes in that no, they were just a group of close to 100, not organized.
What organized?
If they had the pack leader, they would have been doing probably better. They targeted strange places. You recognize it. This is Cedar. He's one of the members of the Council of Elders in Elderthorn. He also sells the alms and small offerings that you can collect in Cathedral Square.
It is strange. And after that, it just retreated?
Oh, Blackman did the job and really pushed them back, got a lot of kills. It was good. It did good works.
No.
Eventually the ranks broke and few stragglers fled. Few
Mm.
parties tried to hunt some down, but gnolls are fast over land and know it a bit better. So some got away. That's good. They'll
Maybe-
tell the tale and get other of their kind afraid to attack again.
Well, usually they don't just attack once. If they smell blood or tasted blood, they usually come back for more.
Not when they taste their own
don't-
blood.
Oh, well, maybe we can help out and find some remnants of them and weed them out so they never come back. Or think twice the next time.
They are like weeds that just pop up another batch the following year.
Maybe. Oh, did you talk to Stormsedge about that?
Not today. It's covered, but that's Scout's business, not for you.
Mm.
Sorry.
With that, I would go.
Okay.
Thank you for your time. Enjoy your drink. Then I would excuse myself.
Okay. One by one, the group of you turn in for your respective rests. You all complete a long rest, and the next day is yours. 10, are you staying at the Faded Gate Inn and letting a room?
Yes.
Okay. That will be 3 silver. The following day is yours. Aeolus, you've been informed of some strange things going on north of Armskirk. The group of you have some business that you might need to take care of in town. Where are you all feeling about doing?
Kelly wants to see if she can follow the trail of gnolls. To see maybe where they might have headed.
Make me a history check, Hellrest.
Okay.
The attack of the gnolls was over a 10-day ago, and they're extremely skilled survivalists wandering into an expanse that is scores of leagues wide. It's not something that, unless you are hot on the heels of something, the trail is gone by this point.
Okay. Helly's second instinct is to create like scarecrow type effigies to put around Elderthorn shaped like gnolls with their heads cut off and arrows stuck into them just to be a little intimidating. But she'll do what everybody else wants to do. She just wants to get a little aggressive and is a little pissy about everything.
Are we all trying together?
I would assume Aeolus would most likely swing back by the Faded Gate in the morning. That's
Yes.
where the rest of you stay.
So, as you might remember, we still have when Kratel is still around, and I really don't want him to slip away again. But if you think that this Knoll business is more important, I can begrudgingly wait a little bit longer. So, any suggestions to Eolus? Any orders from Storm Surge?
I haven't received any.
You
When
were
we
informed there was some strange, some stuff going on in the Witchlight Marshlands, north of Armskirk,
Yes.
between Armskirk and Fellhold.
I will relay that that there was a request that we check out north of Armskirk.
Armskirk. Wait. It's a long ride.
I mean, and if we may possibly be able to pick up a few tracks from the Iron Fang.
And a little more specific than just something happened north of Armskirk. Any monsters or any cults or what?
So there were strange reports coming out of the give me a moment. Let me open up.
Witchlight marshlands.
Yeah, the Witchlight Marshlands, which is up by the Hellhold Refuge.
Oh, with that name, I can only expect weird reports. Which land? And we are to check that out.
Well, Storm Surge relayed that there were strange happenings up there, much like what we have been investigating.
Each of you roll me a d10. See what you remember or have heard about the Witchlight marshlands in the past.
Checks out.
Tang, you can roll on this also if you'd like.
Kim is asking, do we still have our horses?
No.
What
No.
happened to them?
They were brought back to Elderthorn at one point, and then you were planning to go through a henge, and you decided to leave them here.
Oh, okay. So we're going to have to walk to...
All right. So 4, 2, a lot of 2s. Nice. Okay. The Witchlight marshlands are often referred to as just the Witchlights. It is a saltwater marshland that generally holds unsettling tales. Not too dissimilar from the superstitions that surround the Pinwood for you. Armskirk sort of gets these stories here and there from the Witchlights. However, the Witchlights do have they are peopled. They are known as Marshfoots. Well, technically, they are considered to be part of the Armskirk Tautha. They pretty much live apart from other society, other than in familial units. They are typically of smaller stature. In the past, the Witchlights, because of the natural geography of the region, is entirely impassable to any types of beasts of burden, and is difficult even for heavy-set individuals of medium size to pass comfortably through the spaces. So it made a natural defense against larger races, as such small races took up residency within the marshlands, wishing to stay away from geopolitics, we'll call it. As such, the demographic makeup of the Witchlights are now halflings, gnomes, and goblins. There is some reports of semi-aquatic races along the coastal edge of the marshlands, but that has been unconfirmed. There are reportedly less friendly races that could be said aquatic species, or aquatic individuals. Other than that, it's a pretty massive expanse of lowland.
Do we know if there's any small settling or town?
There is no settlements. It is...
Okay.
There could be 1,000 people throughout the marshlands, but they're all set into familial units. So one family sort of makes its own little thing, and then the next nearest individual could be leagues away.
I mean, Eolas, that's not very much to
Tang, you have also heard of the Witchlights. Not quite as much as is revealed during the group of yours conversation sharing the info that you know, but you have heard of this location previously.
Hank's gonna keep quiet because clearly everybody knows a little bit more.
Jolas, that's not much to go on to. I mean, there are no towns or settlements. Everything is scattered around. And just strange reports.
I mean, what are our other options to follow Grottle through one of the hedges we don't have permission to enter?
That is true.
I mean, I'm all up for helping you settle your problems, but
Blood Vendetta.
we were the ones that helped the mayor set up the rule. We should be the ones to absolutely follow it.
Well, if you think that's best course of action, I will oblige.
Aye. Whatever helps Elder Thorn. And if Storm Surge thinks this is where we are best aimed, I trust him.
We should better get some horses because we are in for a long ride, a long journey. That's gonna take us a while. And marshlands doesn't sound very pleasant. Oh, damn.
Yeah, but here's the
Swampy.
thing. Maybe we can borrow some horses, because we can't take the horses into the marshlands. It's too marshy.
Yeah, we would have to leave them at Armskirk.
Yeah.
We could at least take some to Armskirk. That would save us some time.
Right. What we should do before we leave is visit Hellpit and the Amber Braids and acquire anything that we need.
Yeah, I should clearly let Entry take a look at that armor I got. It's partly damaged, so maybe he can fix it, or let Emil fix it.
So
Show him that new hammer I got.
that too. Where do we want to head off to first?
I would prefer the Amber Braids because I think that repairing an armor would take them a while.
Alright.
And they're mostly busy, so better now than later.
I will follow you.
Sounds like a plan. Ellie's secretly a little excited.
Do we notice her blush?
No, because her skin's green, but...
So she gets purple.
As we move through Elder Thorn, Aeolus will point out the notable establishments to 10.
What kind of notable establishments?
Well, there's the market square that is in front of Blackburn. In the way that we're heading are the Amber Braids and the clothing shop. As well as the docks and such.
I'm gonna keep an eye out to see if I see any other Howlin.
Make a perception check. You keep the most weather of eyes out that you possibly can. You do not see any other outline.
Okay. This is fine.
Let's see. So, to the blacksmith.
Do you remember it? Certainly.
Yep.
Emil is currently working. As you step inside this morning, Andre is not present at the moment. You step around to Emil, who wipes some sweat off her brow, puts down the small ball peen hammer that she's sort of working with right now. It looks like she's doing some finishing work on a piece. I'm going to say, hello, what can I do you for today? Need anything out of the shop?
Oh there, Emil. Where's Andre? It's very unusual for him not being here.
He had a date.
A date?
Left me to cover the whole place by myself.
It's
Can you believe
serious?
that?
And
What
it's
an asshole.
anything serious?
I don't know.
Well, good for him. Cut him some slack. He's usually always here.
Yeah, where you should be.
Another question, Emil, and I show her my armor. We found that in some weird temple, and it's kind of cool, but I think it's partly damaged. Can you take a look at it? Better take a look at my armor.
She takes a glance over it. It's taken some wear and tear. You said you found it. I mean, it's easy enough to fix. But you said is it enchanted with anything? If so, the enchantment would need to be repaired first. That's most likely what's going on with it.
It's Kelpip's turf, right?
I mean,
You think it
it's
has a small
nice.
enchantment.
I
Yeah.
mean, it some good fine armor. You said you're... Sorry.
Yep.
It's been a long morning already, and I'm not even halfway done the work that needs to get done.
Yeah,
Stupid
in
question. Would you need an extra hand in the shop today?
How skilled are you with smithy's tools?
I mean, me personally, no, but if you need a strong hand, Hellerast can handle herself around picking up and putting stuff down.
She looks over at Hella. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have an extra hand, but I would really need someone who knows the way around the tools that I'm working with.
I'm a fast learner.
And I could help you out. I know my stuff.
I am gonna elbow on in as hard as I can.
What? I thought it was about helping out, right?
Yes, but we have to look into your armor.
But we also have to repair my armor.
Which we have to go to Kelpit. Not here.
Alright.
Ellie is turning a really lovely shade of dark green.
Dan has no idea what this is all about. Alright, so Hellerest will help and we go to Kelpips for now and then come back. Is that the plan?
I mean,
I guess so.
Um, Theo, I have these two pieces that are damaged and pockmarked. Could you use them for anything? And I'll put down the ring mail and my shield.
I mean, the raw materials. I'm not gonna say no to you providing them as long as you don't need them for nothing else. Give you a bit of credit for it, but
Yeah, that'll work. Anything to help you out.
all right. She's just sort of looking at you all queerly at this moment. She's not sure what the
What's up?
elbowing into Dunnan was about, or what's going on.
It's just a really long day so far.
I can tell.
All right, Tannen, let's go see Hellpip so we can finish our preparations.
All right.
I'll be here.
We'll be back.
She sort of
Take your
looks at the
time.
group of you, and starts directing you how best to move some things around. Since you don't have any proficiency with smithing or artificers or tinker's
No.
tools, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
I am brute strength.
After asking you and confirming as such, she has you start unloading the most recent delivery from the ODMC of metals and ores that need to still be smelted.
Sorry about that.
So
Drop my phone.
hard, backbreaking work, moving these heavy metal-laden ore out of a cart that's about twice as long and 50% wider than a normal like farmer's cart would have. The cart itself might be a ton. As you are slowly shifting the rock out of it to a few different piles near the smelter, based on the size of the nodules and boulders and chunks that it's been broken up into.
Hop, hop, hop. I'll sweat for the whole day. Doesn't matter. Feels good.
All right. The rest of you are heading to Kelpip's, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One by one, the group of you approach. Tang, you've never been to this location previously. Approach a nondescript building that, in faded letters, upon the top panel that goes wall to wall of the front face of this structure, just reads as the establishment. There is a recessed entryway. Upon the within this entryway, as you sort of slightly step within, you notice the metal grate beneath your feet, like a tightly woven cage upon the ground. As you observe your companions, they each reach out and touch a spherical stone that's been set into the wall next to the entryway. And one by one, you watch as the dirt and grime of travel sort of just radiates and falls off of them in this impossibly fast vibration, and falls through the grate underneath the feet. Do you touch as well?
I preen myself daily and don't feel the need to touch the weird ball.
Okay. After they have done so, they ascend the 2 steps up to this nicely lacquered, although slightly older door, and open inwards. As they step within, there's the ringing of a chime and you enter into what appears to be, at first glance, a bar that has been converted into a bookstore and knick-knack store. Along the right-hand side of the single room in which you enter, there is a long bar top that runs wall to wall. You don't see any visible entrance, such as you could go from the common area to behind the bar if you were a worker. Stacked behind the bar, there is, in place where you would expect shelves of liquored bottles to be, a large card catalog, thousands maybe, drawers of different sizes, widths, heights, all with little tiny brass knobs, polished from constant use. On the far end of the bar, there is a large tome that is currently closed. The tome itself is maybe 6 inches in height, and a good 2 feet by 3 feet. This is a massive book down on the end of the bar top, opposite your entrance. Off to the left-hand side, there is shelving units, arranged in haphazard U shape. There's one along the wall and 3 that come out from the wall a small distance. These shelves are filled with odds and ends, curiosities of all types. You see mirrors, baubles, you see little jars full of different crystals and vials, and you see pieces of leather that have been handcrafted and curved into intricate patterns and shaped, ornately decorated. See another section that has different pieces of armor. You see a few mannequins that are head and torso, no arms, that have a suit of chainmail over that one of them, and a suit, what appears to be a breastplate and helm on another one. In the center of the area, as you come in, and what assails your senses most notably, other than sight, is a large tiered table of all different manner of reagents and consumable materials, from which one side there is a gently burning scent of incense, filling the space with this warm, inviting atmosphere. You stepped out of what is close to, at this point, summer heat, and now you feel like you're in a cozy interior from an outside winter. It's not oppressively unpleasant, it's warm and welcoming. It's not an atmosphere you expect, especially in the summer, and especially coming from a slightly colder climate. As the chime rings and fills the space with its soft tone, stepping from the back end of the bar and behind a curtain that gets pulled to the side, you see, rolling up his sleeves, a halfling man, thinning hair on top, dark, dressed impeccably well, and based on his stature, you recognize his racial makeup, although he's standing much taller than he should be behind the medium-sized bar, such that it's about at his waist. You gather he might have a raised tier back there at first thought, such that he can view and deal with business over top of the bar. As he steps forward, "Hey, how you all doing? Oh, you got a new face."
Yeah, great to meet you, Kelpip. This is our newest edition. 10.
Yeah, let me grab Kelpip's handout. There you are.
I give a small wave.
10? Nice to meet you. It's been a while since I've seen one of your faces. It is a
And it's a
true
pleasant
pleasure.
surprise, right? Huh?
Of course, it is always a pleasure to see any of you. Especially when you bring me new faces that will hopefully be spending some coin in my shop.
You remember that hammerhead that I bought from you a few weeks back?
I do. I have it. He flicks his finger, and the book falls over about a third of the way through. I have the transaction right there.
I finally put it to good use, or I finally figured out how to put it to use, and I show him the hammer,
May I?
the smasher. Sure, be my guest, but be careful, don't drop it. It's very heavy.
He takes a look at it and sort of fiddles with it in his hand for a moment. Adamantine, that's an inspired choice. Do you happen to know who did the work?
It was a dwarf fellow in Crypt. What was his name, Eolus? I don't recall.
Yer's been busy out here. I might have to open up another shop.
Yes.
He sort of flips it
He
around
could
his hand
use you there.
a couple times.
Sorry, I'm not there. Oops.
Looks at you, drops it on his bar top for a moment just to see. That's fine. Hands it back to you, Dunnan. It's a fine piece of gear. I'm glad you were able to find a solution.
Yeah. It came at a hefty sum, but I think it was worth it. Another thing, we just came from Emil, and I got a new armor as well, as you can see. But it's a little bit damaged, and she mentioned that if it has an enchantment, you should first take a look at it and try to repair, or whatever you do with enchantments. And then I can bring it to let her do the, I don't know, fixing of the plates or whatever. Can you take a look?
I assume you've had the armor off in this case then,
Yeah.
as you're presenting it to multiple people. Right.
Yeah.
I'll place it up on the bar. I'll take a look at it.
Place it at the bar.
As he sort of strides back and forth and grabs a few small, it looks like a jeweler's loop. Sort of fits it in and then holds it there against his eye and looks over at the armor. It looks well enough made. The damage is mostly cosmetic. Now the enchantment might break should you lose any of the pieces of armor, so I'd advise you to be careful about taking it off and putting it on again and not missing a random piece here or there. One pauldron wrong, you'd be left with a pile of scrap metal. That said, I can reinforce the enchantment such that you can easily don and doff this gear with a word, but and that would sufficiently keep things together.
Sounds great.
But I don't think Emil has much that she would need to do with this. If anything.
After you've... Oh, you mean after you have enchanted it?
Correct. It's not like you dented or
All
sort
right.
of shows. There's some scratches here and there. I suspect the armor was used a little bit before the original enchantment was placed upon it. As such, the enchantment degraded over some number of centuries. And as opposed to being infused into the metallurgical process, which typically holds in perpetuity as far as anyone's quite sure. But it's an easy enough adjustment. You might just need to have it touched up in the next 3 centuries or so.
I don't plan on living that long.
Speak for yourself.
Well, how much would that enchantment progress there run me?
Put it 200 silver.
Do you also accept stuff? And I show him. I don't really have any need for that anymore. And I don't think anybody else besides me can use it. And I show him the basher.
Basher? Okay.
Yeah.
let me pull
It-
up Basher's handout.
Yeah.
Because I believe someone else in the party is capable of using that.
No, it's only tunable by paladin or cleric. Oh,
Yeah.
10, you're right. Could use it.
Weapons, melee, devotee sensor. So, Tang, you would also be able to attune to this in theory, if you so choose.
And is it too heavy for me to fly with?
It's a flail. It weighs 4 pounds.
Okay, great.
It's not like the Witch King of Agmar's flail.
Mhm.
The head of the basher is about 3.5 inches in diameter,
Mhm.
and it would be heavier if not for the built-in sensor side of it that expels the incense that gives this healing aura.
Hmm.
Well, and would you chime in if I show him that weapon? 10? Because Dana is probably oblivious to the fact that you could use it.
Would I know that I could use it?
You've seen Dunn using it. You don't know that you wouldn't be able to.
I don't know that I would be able to intuit that I could use it, because Dunnan is very different from me.
This is also fair. As Kelpip takes a look at it. I mean, I think I examined this one for you previously.
It has a very neat feature. If you press that, press the button.
I mean, you need to be one of strong conviction to be able to. And if I recall correctly, it helps patch up small scrapes and bruises on anyone
Yeah,
around
for
you.
a limited time, right? For a minute, I think. It just oozes this very nice aroma of ale. Great.
I think you think most things smell like ale, then.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't want to meet whoever passes for a brewer in your eyes. I mean, I can take it. I call that a square trade. For the small enchantment that you requested on the armor, unless anyone else amongst your company had the desire for it. I don't want to rob you blind. Gives you a practiced
Look around.
smile. Based on his description, Tang, you would recognize. You could probably wield this also.
Okay. Do you mind if I take a look?
Be my guest.
Sure.
And if I caught correctly, as he sort of turns his attention to you, Tang, you said your name was Tang? Pardon me?
Mhm.
It has been truly a long time since I've met any of the folks from Hollow. How have you been?
Well, is Hollow the name of the land that I'm from?
Yes.
Okay. There have been better days. You've seen one of my kind before.
Oh,
What?
I've visited your village in the past.
When
a
was
little bit
that?
cold for my taste, but and that was in the warmer months. This was years ago, though. I've not known many of your kinfolk to travel outside. It's a delight to see you.
Yeah, not many of us do travel.
It raises an eyebrow at your implied ellipses.
I do not elaborate.
Very well.
Oh.
Please take a look. Is there anything else I can help the group of you with? The armor will take about a day done.
Well, if you're gonna take the basher, then I would need some silver because I have only 150 silver on me now.
Do you have anything? Any new pieces?
I have a few. The Blackburn did request some of my consumables in the wake of the most recent assailment upon our small and humble town. Although I do still have a few potions. He places 3 vials. These are just standard healing potions. It's all I have left of that any of the variety, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I do have a few scrolls as well. He gestures to one of the far shelves. The bottom one is a basic first circle utility, and the second shelf is second level utility. Feel free to peruse them at your leisure. They are 50 silver for the first level and 75 for the second level. Effectively, any first or second level spell, he has at least 1 scroll of. If it can be made into a scroll, which means it is an arcane, not a divine spell. Let's see, where is it else? And I also came across this, a little bit outside of Blackburn's price range, at least on credit. And he produces it looks to be a chain link band ring, where the chain link has been pushed and pressed to the point where it has flat faces, and then it has been curled into a ring, and it's holding this bluish white stone in the center. You do have to impart some of your energy into this and focus on it. But while bearing this item, you're not going to be hindered by any type of sticky or rocky surfaces, and you're not going to be trapped or restrained against your will, at least by magical means. This is a ring of free action.
Oh.
Nice.
How much would his on a scalp it?
This ring is 350 silver.
$350 silver.
Oh, that's nice.
I mean, any of us could make use of this.
Mighty utility.
And
sorry, go ahead.
And how much was Tunnen's armor repair?
200 silver.
200.
200. Yeah, he'll take both of them.
Certainly, that'll be 550. Did you want any other potions as well? They're 30 each.
We'll take 2 of the standard.
These are basic healing potions. So that's 610 silver.
610. All right.
I think Dunnan has 150 of that, correct?
That means 200 silver from the party loot. If everyone's all right with that.
Kelly doesn't care. You know Helly wouldn't care.
I'm also okay with that.
Well, that just means our next job better brings in some money if we spend it all now.
I mean, you're welcome to peruse, unless you wanted me to just show you a couple other items, pique your interest, if you still got more to spend.
Yeah,
Flashes
sure.
another sparkling smile at you. Well, it reaches down to a lower drawer on the shelves behind him and pulls it out. And it's quite a wide drawer. You're expecting like a large thing to come out of it, but the drawer is only about 3 inches deep. And flips around in his hand a sheath, and then pulls a beautiful looking dagger with a sort of wavy pattern to the back half of a curve to this thing. Be careful about touching yourself with this. You might become a little bit envenomed for a while. And that minor enchantment helping you to aim and balance this a little bit better in your hands. This is a dagger of venom. Now this one will run you 225 silver.
Sadly, that's a bit out of our price range at the moment.
Understood.
Go
ahead.
Oh no, Alice just has a question for Helpip after we wrap up.
I have something else that might be a little bit more your speed then. Only 115. Produces a set of leather gloves that have the tips of the fingers removed. A little bit more nimble, hopefully, for those of you who need it. And no need to focus on them too much either. They're just wear them and gain the benefits. These are gloves of thievery. As he places one of them upon his hand, you see it sort of vanish for a moment. You see it's vanished, but you still gain all the benefits. It sort of reaches, you still feel it, so just be aware of that. Tugs it off and it reappears.
Mm-hmm.
That's 115, as I said.
115.
That'd be just Aeolus's groove.
Well, the young man is taking a look at anything. Miss Tang, was there anything else to which you are looking that I might be able to be of assistance?
Might be seeking some information.
I can offer that. Is this a more private matter?
If you wouldn't mind.
Of course. We'll come back to this then. Mr. Aeolus, do either of these pique your interest?
Hey, gloves definitely do.
Alright then. I'll be 115.
Okay.
So you're purchasing them?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry,
Mark
I'm
it off.
back. What are we
And
buying?
you can add gloves of thievery to your inventory. Or whoever is going to wear them, if it is going to be you, Aeolus. Welcome back.
What's that ring? So I just saw Ring of Freedom.
Ring freedom of movement. Ring of reaction, blah 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 blah. I'm blank on the name of it.
Ring of
Ring of reaction. Yeah, I'm right. So that's been purchased. The gloves of
Ring of
thievery have been
Bitch.
purchased. 2 healing potions have been purchased for the group of you to figure out who's going to carry them. And Dunnan, you're leaving your armor here for him to place the enchantment upon it. Correct?
For a day. Or
Yep. Yeah, you'll be able to pick it up tomorrow.
okay. And okay. Do you figure out who to keep what?
Aeolus is going to take the gloves of thievery. And then the ring of free action is for whomever wants it.
Well, who makes most sense to have it? Who moves a lot around?
That would be one of the frontliners or and
I mean, 10 can fly, so I don't know. We can think about that. Oh, we just roll. If you can't figure it out.
well,
I mean, it's nice on everybody, I think.
yeah, we can discuss it with the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Kelpit. I don't mean to intrude, but would it be all right if I could lend a hand or watch and observe how you repair Tunnen's armor?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy. And Aeolus will go into how he modified the mimic tongue and just wants to I would like to learn how to better myself, and seeing as you're the individual who purveys and creates all of these magnificent items, who else better to learn from?
Sort of scratches his chin for a moment. Flattery will get you far in life. Maybe not on this particular piece, but I don't hate the idea of having an assistant for a time. And chews on his lip for a sec. How long are you planning to be on in town?
At least a day or so.
Alright. If you have a few days to kill whenever you are in town, you could use some help around the shop here and there. And I'll give you a crash course and some things.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you, Kelpit.
Alright. Well, if y'all excuse me, I have some business with Miss Tang to attend to.
Good thing. Now then, I'm gonna head back to the house. I'll meet the rest of you later on.
Yeah, pay the gate as usual.
Yep.
Alright. Alright.
And we head out.
Once they leave, Tang, you hear the latch on the door slide into place. And You said you were looking for some information. How might I be of service to you?
There's an affliction that my people are experiencing. I'm wanting to know if you've heard or seen anything like it.
I can check. Goes over to one of the drawers on the far end, which is probably one of the tallest ones. And pulls it. And you notice there's no sides to this drawer as he pulls it out. There's just the front face and then the bottom. And there is this velveted sort of cushion that's set into the center. And lifts a crystal ball about 13, 14 inches in diameter. This thing's huge. He lifts this, hefts it with one hand. Move a little bit off to your side, please. Speaks a word. What languages do you speak, Ten?
I speak Common and Orc.
Okay, you do not recognize this word. Speaks a word, and then tosses this huge crystal ball. You think towards you initially, and it's just a terrible throw, and you're immediately worried it's going to fall and crack and shatter. But it sort of catches itself after the briefest descent in the air from its own weight. And there's this glow of inner light. And then the room is filled with this projection from the sphere itself. And you find yourself surrounded by snow upon the ground. It's not cold. You don't feel it. You just see it everywhere around you. Trees here and there, dotted. Not quite. You hear the voice and look over the side, and you see Kelpip is nearby. He's about 10 feet away from you. And you see him moving his finger in a diagonal pattern. You hear the spinning of the sphere. Although you don't see it anymore, there's this audible sound as it rotates through the air like a brief gust of wind localized. And the space around you shifts and you feel yourself thrust upwards. You're now standing in mid-air as snow is falling softly nearby. And you are in the treetops of these massive pines. The ovuloid, egg-shaped nests you recognize. You are home. There we go. I knew I was close. Shifts it again, and you feel yourself thrust sideways, and you are inside a home. Not individuals you recognize. There's 3 Owlin here. One is sort of puffed up, all feathers, and settled low into a donut-like cushion with things burning around it, incenses. There's a small bowl that looks half drained of this viscous, sort of brackish liquid. Curious. He observes for a while. 2 others are speaking to the one that is ill. It's conversation you've heard previously. I believe I know what you might need, although it's not an easy get either. About 10 minutes later, the spell fades, You find yourselves back in the establishment. Feel your feathers sort of start to settle back in. Unconsciously, you puff them up to fight off the cold that was not present in the scrying. As you settle in, I believe you need to visit a location far to the north of here known as the Verdant Locks. There's giants there. They grow. Sort of flips through his notes for a moment. They grow a flower that's known as the lotus den. It is an aquatic flower. Only grows in high summer months. It can be turned into a poultice if it is freshly harvested. I'm not surprised Hollow is afflicted as such. Your climate is not akin to the growth of this flower. You said many people are sick, or just a few? Special someone? I'm sorry if I showed you someone to whom you were particularly attached.
It's spreading.
Is it many people, or?
I've been away seeking a cure for a short while now, but the number was growing when I left.
Okay. You'll need a twofold solution. If it was just an individual or two, you are sufficiently skilled enough, you might be able to harvest some of the lotus den flowers, and then use magical transposition to get yourself home, such that you can pack the poultice. If it is spreading, as you say, you'll need to create a more permanent home in Hollow for a summer flower. There's divine magics that are capable of such, but it's outside of my purview.
Tim looks very worried.
The Verdant Locks. That'd be your first step. Acquire some of the seeds. The flower itself, you won't keep. Acquire some seeds. They'll be able to survive for some time. Then you need to find a way to bring summer to at least a small section of your home above water, so that way you can plant these seeds in the muck at the bottom of the ponds, and then grow. Ideally, if you have a way to make things grow quickly, I believe some of the compatriots that you just had excused are likely capable of helping you with growth. But then you can form the lotus den petals into a poultice. Apply it to any open sores, and you can brew it into a tea. If the illness is what I think it may be, if I recall correctly, it doesn't kill quickly, but it does get to a point of you won't die from it, but you won't really recover, leaving some lasting damages. Believe to your kin it would be some loss of feathers, which may be as good as death.
I nod solemnly.
He carefully sets the large crystal ball back into the drawer and closes that again. Did you have any other questions for me, miss? I'm sorry to be a bearer of unpleasant news.
I shake my head and say thank you so much. You give me a direction that's more than I've had to date.
Glad. As I said, the Variant Lock's north of here. Get to the Garden Step. Travel west. There'll be 2 deep lakes. I mean, this time of year might be hard to tell. I mean, that part of the world's a bit colder. The Variant Locks themselves are called as such because they have perpetual summer, despite the weather. And their shores are lush. But that is because of nymphs and dryads and spirits of nature in those parts. Might not be too kind to people trying to take stuff from them. Don't misalign nature to goodness and kindness and generosity. It can be harsh.
I nod.
If there's nothing else, I do wish to see you again in my shop. Hopefully spending some coin on any of my fine wares. You hear the lock behind you disengage on the door.
I'm sure you'll see me again. Thank you. And I leave a few silver pieces on the counter as payment for the information.
He is appreciative. Take care, ma'am.
I say thank you again, and then I head out.
Okay. The rest of you, would you have waited outside, or you fucked off somewhere else?
I would have fucked up off and drank some ale at Buka's place.
Okay. How the rest is working. Aeolus, you went back to your house?
Yes.
Okay. What are you doing there?
I'm just it's just experimentation on the monster parts and the flowers and seeds that we picked up now that I have my full alchemist and herbalism kits.
Noted. Okay. One by one, the group of you go about your business for the day. Is there anything anyone else would like to do before you turn for the evening and get a long rest?
No.
What'd you say, 10? No, you cut in and out.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, sorry. I thought I saw the green light pop up, and then...
Oh, no, that was me. I forgot I was muted. Yeah, Helly's going to take a shower. She's been sweaty all day.
Heather gets a nice bath. Some tough work. Emil does offer you some coin for your work. 10 silver, if you accept it.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm fine.
The day passes. The group of you complete your rest. That brings us to the following day. Let's check the calendar. You are into the 13th day of Flame Rule. The day is yours. What would you like to do?
Did Kelpic mention when exactly the armor will be ready, in the evening or the morning of the following day?
The morning. You can pick it up as you do first thing in the morning.
No, I
It
would
is-
go and pick it up.
It is ready. The item has already been edited in the inventory. It is an action to speak the command word to don or doff the armor.
Sweet.
If you doff it in that way, it cannot be donned any other way. And 10, if you would like during your... Oh, she stepped away. I'll tell her when she gets back. She can attune to the basher. Alright.
Armor of readiness.
What would you like to do?
Well, Aeolus, should we... I mean, are we ready now for the part? And we need some horses for our ride to Armskirk, but do we have to, I don't know, report to Storm Surge that we are leaving, or
You complete a long rest. As such, you can tune to the basher should you so choose. Which is actually the devotee's sensor. Dunn just calls it the basher.
take care of my child?
You both went at the same time. I got none of that.
I just said to 10, take good care of my child. It served me well.
I will.
Well, if we leave for Armskirk, that means that we'll miss out on Healed Me.
We might not want to miss that.
So
I mean, the fest.
let's head to
Armskirk,
Blackburn.
Armskirk, as the crow flies, is 57 leagues. Which is
Yikes.
roughly 180 miles. And you travel 2 hexes, so 6 leagues a day on horses. And it would take you 20 hexes, so it would take you 10 days on horseback to reach Armskirk.
And then 10 days back. Yeah, no, we would not make it back here for Healed Meat.
Correct.
So let's head to Blackburn. Ask Storm Surge if he has any other leads or how pressing this matter is. Maybe taking a bit here. Unless we have anything else that we need to do.
Not in particular, I think.
Okay.
Helly can go back and help Emil if she needs to waste time.
10. Were you able to find out if Calpip could help with whatever you needed?
I nodded. They were of great help.
All right. Well, if no one is objecting, let's go check in with Storm Surge.
It's fine.
You will go
Well,
to Blackburn.
I do hope he has at least a little assignment, because sitting around idling is... I'm not made for that.
I mean, we could always take 10 into the Pinwood.
Sounds like a
to
threat.
to see Frank.
It's or to see if 10 has any outside suggestion.
Ah. Makes sense.
No. I wouldn't take 10 into the Pinwood. If any one of our group I would take, it would be Willem.
Yeah.
I'll just look around to make sure he didn't hear me.
You see him sulking behind you.
Oh, God damn it.
As this conversation is had, you find yourselves striding through the courtyard of Blackburn Keep. Captain Brath's Storm Surge is currently discussing something with the lieutenants off to the side of the courtyard. As you approach, sort of nods at the group of you, holds up a hand to the lieutenants to whom he's speaking at the moment. As you approach, what can I do for you?
Well, we were going to head up to the marshes, to the marshland.
Fantastic.
But we wanted to see if there was anything here that needed our immediate attention. A few of us wanted to possibly catch shield meat and or stay around and help out where needed.
There's plenty to be done. We have a few farms to rebuild. We're gonna be lending some hands there. Don't have any massively pressing issues right now. They're just getting the defenses rebuilt. Small things that were damaged. I believe Traum has a wall that needs to be replaced. That might have been my fault.
Might have been your fault.
One of those buggers went flying. Not saying it was my fault, but I did. There was contact, and then there was the leaving of the ground for a small period of time.
Hazards.
It was the Knoll's fault. But
Oh,
Tom
yeah.
wants his wall fixed, so we're gonna fix his wall. No, there's plenty to be done around here if you're sticking around. I mean, you were a bit young
Nothing
last
of the-
time Shield Meat came around. You were there. That was before your service, I believe. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it'll be a bit more fun for you. Lots of drinking, lots of partying. It's a good time. Good time.
Oh, I completely forgot. Captain Storm Surge. This is our friend, 10.
Holds out a gauntleted hand to shake to you, 10.
I reach up to shake.
His arm sort of envelops your hand and wrist for a moment, in the grip. It's a pretty well-sized individual, probably 6'6", 6'7", and a lot of weight to throw around behind that. Well-muscled, older gentleman, as he sort of shakes. Pleasure to meet you. Never met any folk like you before. Strong?
I'm a cleric.
Not my bailiwick. Good to hear, though. You keeping
Extremely
these guys up?
intelligent.
I mean, they all made it back, didn't they?
Yeah, I suppose so. Keep up the good work.
All right. Well, we'll help out where needed. You just have to do a bit of business today, and I'll
It just
report
occurred. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll
Ahmed looks a
report
little bummed out.
first thing in the morning.
Why you look so sad, Master Dwarf?
I just, I'm not one for not helping out by repairing, but I'm more like, smashing stuff and, hunting things down. More the action variety. So
There's always
I hope
sparring that
for
can be
more-
done.
I hope for more, get those gnolls, kill their leaders, something like that.
It's a common hazard. Not as common as it used to be, also. We're doing a good job about it. Being in charge and being good at what we do isn't always just hitting things. It's also being ready to put down the sword and pick up, sort of glances at you in your waist, pick up the hammer and build something. Or rebuild something when need be.
I guess you're right. I'm just not used to, idling around. Well, always been on the move, so
Well, if
maybe
you
a
like
change of
what
pace won't hurt me.
I'll tell you what, Master Dwarf. If you like, I'll get together some of my more elite units and I'll give you a run for your money.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Sparring, not permanent.
Sure.
You guys have done some practice for us before. Might be good for some of the newer ones to see how our experienced folks do it.
That sounds great. Might learn a trick or two.
I'll let you know when I have something together. But then, to you it sounds like play, but that'll be after work.
Sure.
It has occurred to Helaras that she should probably try to see if somebody can fix her.
Fix her what?
Eye.
Oh.
Now that she's far enough away from the hag, she was afraid that if she tried to get it fixed, the hags could possibly retaliate. So she wanted to get way away from them. But if it can't happen, it can't happen.
Make me a history check.
Okay.
19. You grew up here. The individual to whom you would have most likely been sent after asking around would have been Arcanist Spatiana, who has expired some months back. The group of you found her remains hidden within her room here at Blackburn. You're not sure if a new Arcanist captain has been appointed, which would be Storm Surge's compatriot in the leading of Blackburn. Other than that, you're not sure what healers are actually present in town at the moment.
So Armskirk.
Most likely.
Okay.
You also know that one of the from your previous excursion to Armskirk, pardon me, you know that one of the herbalists there, Dr. Frohen T-Dance, has also died.
Yes, I was going to say, Dance is gone.
And last you checked, her herbalist shop has been closed up, and people actually, prior to your arrival, were not aware of her demise.
Yeah, we fucked up.
You did share that her she had been injured. You do know of one healer um, who purports to be as such, that it would be Goodling. She's part of the Skyfire clan, which you have worked with previously. However, the Skyfire clan have gone to their summer grounds,
Yeah,
which are in
no,
the
we'll
far
just wait.
north.
I'm getting used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could check with Goodling if you make your way up that way. Or you could check with a member of your party who is also a healer.
This is true. Aeola said something, so she'll pull him aside and ask him 2 questions. First question is, hey, Aeolus, and she'll speak in Orc, so it's a little less obvious. Actually, no, she'll speak to him in Infernal, because I think we're the only 2 Infernal speakers around, right? And just ask if she can bunk on his living room floor instead of having to spend money at the Fated Gate. And then if you don't, I don't need a bed or anything. I'm just going to sleep on the floor. No big deal. But you did mention that earlier that we would be able to bunk here if we needed to. And then you said something when we were out on the other side of the portal that you might have an idea how I could get my eyesight back.
I do.
Would you be kind enough to talk about it?
We would have to speak to help it.
Okay.
It's more of a last resort. If 10 isn't able to take care of it, I have full confidence that with her expertise and maybe even Siegfried lending a hand, that they can figure out something that won't involve poking and prodding.
I've endured a lot worse.
Oh no, you have.
Whatever you think the first step is, I'll take it. If we need to do it here because it's Kelpip.
Well, we have to see if my way's even possible.
Okay. Should have seen if Kelpip had some kind of magical eye.
I mean, that's
shoved in there.
That's kind of what I was leaning towards.
That seems to be what would be the best here.
Yeah. And speaking of, and I'll turn to 10 and I'll relay that if you do not wish to spend coins staying at the Fated Gate, you can always stay at my homestead. It is for the group.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Just, I warn you of the mess.
Just
but
the home is well loved, right?
Yeah.
Ellie kind of snorts, thinking about all the places we've stayed.
But before the day is out, Alice would eventually like to return to Ale and trade in everything that we took armor and weapon wise when we were making our trek through the hag's home.
Okay. Easy enough to do so. Are you looking for credit or coin, or just turning it over?
Credit or coin, if they have anything on hand that would benefit the rest of the group as far as weapon or armor wise, then great. If not, then just trading for whatever they can provide us.
Gotcha. Okay. Roll me a D100. 14. She offers you a grand total about 60 silver. For the things as slightly better than raw materials, in the sense that she doesn't have to refine them as raw ore, but everything's still going to be smelted down. So you can add 60 silver to your inventory for all of it.
Okay,
Not a great deal, you get the feeling, but better than carrying the weight.
Yeah, and everything was battle worn, wasn't in prestige shape. Is there anything that anyone wanted from the hand crossbows, the great sword, the spear, the shield, or the spears, shields, or the mace?
Nah.
I'll spend a first level spell slot on the carved staff. Is it magical?
Which staff is this? Do you have notes for the location that you gained this from?
It just says carved staff, and it's in the bag of holding.
Carved staff, no. There is no aura of enchantment upon it.
Okay.
No.
Alright, then we'll take all of those out of the bag of holding, trade them in, put 60 gold back into, or 60 silver back into the party loot. And then to free up more, would I know who to trade in the dire owlbear hides that we have?
You should not have dire owlbear hides. You did turn that in.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, that was part of the job. You turned that into Iron Fang.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. That is it for my inventory management.
Okay. Let's take our mid-session break now.
Okay.
A little bit late, but that's fine. Back at call it 8 after, somewhere in there. 6, 7 minutes.
Okay.
Alrighty. Back in a couple. right, getting back into it. It sounds like the group of you are going to be in town for a few days. Does anyone have anything specific that they would like to do besides helping to repair here and there, working with Emil, or offering to work with Emil? She does not need additional aid once Andre is back, but doesn't hurt to offer. Inventorying the incense for Kelpip on your part, Aeolus. Does anyone have anything in particular that they would like to do during what looks to be close to 10-day that you're going to spend here in town? It's 20 days. It's a good long amount of time. So the longest amount of time you spent in Elderthorn since sort of forming up together.
I'll probably hit up Andrew and asking everything about his date.
About what?
Somewhere.
About his date.
Asking him
about his date.
Yes.
You can ask.
Maybe in the evening at Bukas or so and Felikedin.
Yeah. So you share some camaraderie concerning his date. He refuses to tell you his name. Her name. He's quite taken with her. Sounds like it went quite well.
Yeah, it's great for you, Andre. Yeah. I hope it works out for you.
Yeah.
And I would be honored to be your best man at the wedding if it ever comes to that. And you don't need to ask.
You
it's
hear
all right.
Buka laughing at you as she's been overhearing this conversation.
Donna just assumes.
About 8 days or so after you've returned to town, let me adjust my calendar. You are informed by a page, one of the younger siblings of a current recruit to Blackburn, who still wants to sort of be involved with their older sister's life somewhat, catches up with one of you at some point and lets you know that Captain Stormsurge has set up this little melee that Dunnan requested.
Great.
For that afternoon.
Who's gonna join me and beat up some Blackburn greenhorns or
Ellie
veteran?
needs practice with this to fight with this eye because her spatial awareness is off. So Helly'll go.
Great. Yodas, you're gonna watch or join us for some fun?
Well, I feel like if you guys are going to spar with newer recruits, I should probably be there.
Specifically not newer recruits.
Veteran.
New recruits are watching.
Oh.
Could be fun.
See, but then I'd be kind of torn if I should fight with you or if I should fight you.
You should fight with us, of course, because you're always around us, right?
Yeah, but you would have an unfair advantage on how we fight.
I guess.
It's training for the recruits.
Sure,
He's
you
not
can-
right
you
down
can-
on the ground
you can-
anyway. He's not going to know how you fight.
Yeah, you can show them the difference in style.
Oh, that hurt.
And don't worry, 10's gonna pick you up if you go down.
No, she's not. Did you just hear her?
She doesn't? I'm sorry. Well, I'll have you back, alright? If she doesn't.
Sure.
But don't try to disgrace our name, alright?
That's-
I mean, the Bloody Mad Dogs are held in high esteem over here.
Yeah.
They are.
110%.
Don't tell me otherwise. Alright, let's go to this bout.
Okay. You're led into a familiar-looking arena to some of you. Teng, to you, as you stride in, there is this large circular section at the back of Blackburn, with tiered things. It feels, for your visual, it looks very Colosseum gladiator style. There are walls set up, there's weights and training dummies all throughout the outside of it. It looks like this is a more organized section to run simulated combat specifically for training purposes, rather against live combatants, as opposed to drilling outside against dummies in regimented form. The central area of this has two massive boulders that have been placed as you stride in and are directed to one side of the arena. Strung between the boulders is this patchwork defense of spears tipped with barbed metal that have been welded and bracketed and tethered together into this hedgehog-like fence in between these two massive boulders. Let me move you guys to a map. Let me move. There we go. Alright, cool. So it should be loading now. Correct?
Yep.
Alright, wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Filling into the other side, you see Captain Storm Surge and about better part of 60 looking recruits, young faces, men, women of different races, gathered around Captain Storm Surge. Good to have you. All right, so rules are simple. You cannot kill each other, but we do have part of the medical teams on standby. Basic stuff. Please try not to leave any lasting curses or damage to each other. Sort of looks around, addressing some of the recruits. A lot of you know, we have Aeolus, was once a recruit like you, and now has joined up with the Blackburn on a permanent basis. He's well experienced and is at this point one of our far wanderers. Amongst his company, we have some independent contractors in Dunnan, some new face in Tang, and the orc woman Hellerest. Then opposing the group of them today, your newest captain, Nath. Gestures over to a Githyanki individual. First time
If
you
I
have met them.
If I continue, Spence, I can see Nav's hit points. If I don't know if that's intentional.
It is not. Let's change them. Is that fixed now?
It's gone now. Yeah.
Okay. I think I had his sheet set as a NPC PC at one point. Visible to editors.
You know, I'm looking at it, and I realized that when we went up to the next level, I didn't up my HP. I'm still at 87.
Double check your sheet. See if it yeah, your hit dice is a d12. So your average is 7, and your con mod is 5. So you get 12. So you should be at 99.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And then adjust your current hit points also.
Yep.
This is the first time any of you have seen Naf. Based on Storm Surge's introduction, you gather he is the individual that has taken over Batiana's role within Blackburn. With Naf, you have one of his lieutenants and two of Arvir's best. Let's have a good, fair bout. As a general rule for this, I don't mean to single anyone out, but we have a height limit of 30 feet in the air. The two rocks are 25 feet on the northern one and 20 feet on the southern one. So you can utilize any space within the terrain here, but do not leave the ring. Everyone ready? Begin!
Ready.
I'm gonna ask the group of you to roll initiative, please.
Okay. Oh boy.
No hell.
Shit. Ah!
I'm gonna run all of them individually. Nath, she is apparently not set to private either. Alright, let's see. Descending. Ooh, they're all in the middle there. Alright. So, we also need to change our music. So, Aeolus, you are top of initiative. What would you like to do?
Oh, fuck.
The spike wall in the center is 15 feet in height. You can see through it. Anyone drawing line of fire through that center spiked fence does have the target would have half cover, which is +2 to the AC. If you draw any ranged attack through that space.
Alrighty. As a bonus action, I'm going to consume one of my mutagens,
Okay.
and I'm going to move and hug this wall.
Noted. So you need to be one
Alright.
space back there. These are pretty sheer boulders, but there is space on top of them. So if you are able to get up there without needing to climb on them, you can be on top of them. But other than that, they're not domes. They're much steeper.
Okay.
Okay. Anything with your action? Are you taking the hide or dodge or what?
I will hold a Panic Slash in case anyone comes within range.
Noted. Okay. That brings us to Hellerast, next in initiative.
Okay. Hellerast will have the Solar Steel Mitigator in her hands. She's going to pull Corin, and she's going to put on the Armor of Agathis.
Okay. Sounds good. So that is action and bonus.
Action and... I'll pull out Corin.
Okay. What level are you casting Armor of Agathis?
1. She's not expecting anybody to actually be trying to kill her, so...
Alright, so you get 5 temporary hit points. Corin is out. Just make sure to get her hit points set. And are you staying put where you are, or are you moving?
I'm just going to stay put.
Okay.
Wants to see what they're doing through the fence.
Okay. That'll then bring us to the first of Arvir's chosen. Let me make sure I'm on the right one. Yeah, southern one. Who will shift to this position. And the other will back up. They are both taking defensive stances. Captain Nath. Alright, let's see. It's going to... Don't need that. Yeah, so that goes... Alright, so he's going to move 20 feet to this position here. Alright, let us see how you do. It is a pleasure to be showing you all. He's going to spin his hands through the air for a moment. As you realize he's a magic user, as his position would necessitate. And he is going to cast Conjure Animals. And he is going to
Son of a
pull
bitch, that's my move.
8 wolves. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are one. No. And I'm gonna roll them in at the end of initiative. 1. Just to make it a little bit easier to manage. So he is pulling 8 wolves out from nowhere. As these forms sort of stand up out of the dust of the arena and take shape as they finally gain their coloration. And they're clearly not like these conjurations made to look like a wolf. And he's focusing on this spell. Other gladiator moves, and the drow will move to here and will take a ranged attack on 10. You have +2 to your AC because they are shooting through the spiked area with their Ray of Frost. If it would roll. There we go.
Hey,
17
Spencer.
to hit you. 10.
My base AC is 17.
Alright, so that means it misses because of the bonus to your armor class. Yes, Aeolus.
Would the wolves trigger my held action?
You were holding an attack?
I was holding the Thorn Whip spell.
Thorn Whip? Range is 30 feet melee, right?
Yes.
Then yes, I would say the one closest to you, you can make the attack on.
Okay.
So just misses you, Teng, thanks to having to try to weave this in between this spiked fence. 19 hits the wolf for 8 points. Alright. And then that brings us to Teng. I don't believe Drow is doing anything with their bonus. They're good. What'll be Teng? Done and on deck.
All right. I am going to Can I disengage upwards?
You can disengage and then move, yes. It doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm going to disengage and fly.
Alright, so disengage is the action. None of them get opportunity attacks. And then movement. You have your movement. You going straight up?
I'm going up and angling towards the boulder. So
Sir, go for it.
here, and I'll be up about 15 feet at that point.
15. All right.
Where's the little wing icon? Oh, you got it. Great, perfect. Thank you. And I still have my bonus action.
Correct.
So I am going to activate Spiritual Weapon.
Spiritual weapon. All right. Did we make a token for your spiritual weapon yet?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
Okay. What does your spiritual weapon look like?
It is a flail. It looks exactly like the one I just received from my teammate. I was gonna summon it. What's the range that I can summon it to? This is the first time I've used this spell. 30 feet. I'm gonna put it right where I was.
Okay, lovely. Let me grab a little piece of art and make a token for you real quick.
Mm-hmm. When you cast the spell, you can make a melee spell attack against a creature within 5 feet of the weapon. So I'm going to attack one of the wolves.
Perfect.
The one to the north of where I was standing.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and make the attack roll, unless my chat just doesn't want an update. So put it right where you're standing. I'll give you control of the token. Hang mom. You should be able to move that token, just toggle it back and forth to confirm. 15 does hit, and you said the wolf to the north?
Mm-hmm.
7 points of damage. That one is looking pretty bad already. Alright. Nice. Anything else? I think that's everything, right?
Yep, that's everything. That's my movement, my action, and my bonus.
Dunnan, the party has joined you. What would you like to do?
Oh boy. Neat little tricks, but that won't stop me, and I ignore the wolves. I'll get 2 opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
Move over here.
They are both at advantage. Pack tactics. 20 and 15.
20 hits.
Okay, I need you to make me a strength saving throw, please, as you take 7 points of piercing, reduced to 4 because I'm the armor master.
Come on.
Wow.
Ugh.
Okay. The DC is 11, so you actually succeed.
And
And you are not.
I just
you're
run
not
with the
dragged
wolf
to
on my
prone.
heel.
Yeah.
So how much damage? 7?
7 reduced to 4. Yeah. So they literally
It's
cannot
just
drag you prone.
I just... Your
Yeah.
wolves won't save you, and I will throw the hard iron at Captain Nav twice.
Yeah, go for it. All right. 26. That'll hit. You do not get the benefits of dueling on the throw, but that is 13 points of bludgeoning damage, and that looks like a crit. So that is 16 more. So.
No, it's max damage because of the.
Yes.
Yeah.
So remind me, I need to adjust how Heart Iron is set
Yeah,
up for your crit.
I don't know. How it works.
Yeah, I have the code to set it up correctly. Okay, so we have 13
And he needs to
base.
make con saves.
Yeah. Alright, so 13 on the first one, and then your max damage on the crit is 2d8, so 16, plus your strength score is
5.
so 21, right? What's the 2 from? Oh, that's the crit. Okay.
You
So
will
21 points. All right. And then 2 con saves for Naf for concentration. Where's his con? Here it is. 13 and 13 passes them both.
Lucky him.
DC was 10, he just didn't deal enough. Alright. Anything else? Still got a bonus.
Bonus. Feel of faith on myself.
Gotcha. Alright, mark down concentration. Get a little bit more protection for yourself as the wolves start. 2 of them will pursue. What's the wolf's speed? 40. Lovely. One of them is going to stupidly try to bite the flail, the one that you hit.
Mm-hmm.
So it does nothing this round. The others will go for the juicier target nearby. Alright, that's all their movements. Alright, I'll start at the top of the map and move down. Done in 2 bites at you. 15 and 18. I don't think either of them hit with Shield of Faith up, right?
22.
22, yeah, brutal. Alright, bites the spiritual flail and is now sort of chewing on it like a toy. But then the flail sort of phases through its mouth. 4 attacks on Hellerast. First one is a 19. Hellerast?
Damn it. Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright, 7 points. So that's 2 points to you as your temporary hit points fades. And that means that wolf takes 5 points of cold. Second, third, and fourth attack are 22. Oh, sorry, you have heavy armor, Master, do you not?
Yes, I do.
So instead that is actually 4 points, leaving you 1 temporary, meaning the second one, which is a 22 to hit, also takes 5 points of cold damage, and you take another 4. So you are
Nice.
3 points into your actual hit points at this point. So you got 10 points out of your armor of Agathis. Third one is a 21 hit for 6 reduced to 3.
Okay.
Final one is 16. Does that hit you?
No.
Alright, 16's no good. Alright. And then 1 attack on Aeolus. Not at advantage. 10 to hit you.
Doesn't hit.
No good. Alright, and that brings us to you, top of the order, Aeolus.
All right, I'm going to try to take 2 swipes this thing with the katana.
Certainly. First attack is advantage. It's your first attack with it. 22, yeah, definitely hits. And that is sufficient to break that one. As you slash through it, you see it falls back as it is deconstituted back into the sand and dirt from whence it was conjured.
Alrighty. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll move up to flank this one with Hellerast.
25 will also hit, 6 points. That one is fresh, but now it is not. It's looking injured.
All right, and that's my turn. All of the recruits and Captain Storm Surge, they're over on this side, right?
Oh, no, they are all around. They're
All
watching
around.
everything.
Okay.
No.
Alrighty, that's my turn.
All right, and that'll then bring us to Hellerast.
Okay. Hellerast is really well aware that they think she's a fighter. Everybody in the arena, I know Storm Surge doesn't know, but they don't know that she's a fairly decent magic worker. So
Hellerast knows she's a
going.
decent magic worker.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So at least not Nap.
That
She's
just
gonna
sounds
move.
so wrong.
Sorry. She's going to go ahead and move up to here. She's going to send Corin over.
So there's going to be some
to...
opportunity attacks then.
That's fine.
Okay.
send Corin over to Captain Nath,
One
and then
moment.
she is going
Hold on.
to also.
One moment. Hold on. Let me make the opportunity attacks. So that is, what path are you taking to get there?
Just right past Aeolus.
So 1, 2, 3. So you can get to here. With 30 feet. Hold on. Alright, let me. I don't think my thing is showing. There we go. So you should be able to see my cursor now.
Yeah, I can.
So you can get to here with 30 feet.
Okay.
Because you can't go through the wolves. You got to go around them.
Okay.
So
one
one
back.
down, and then how far are you able to move Corin in a turn?
Corin has a speed of 30 feet.
All right, and Corin is here. So Corin can get to here to be ready to scurry up and around the rock on the following turn.
Yeah.
Or Corin could end here and then actually get an attack on one of the wolves if you wanted. It should just be 5 feet further back.
Yeah, I'll go ahead, and she can't get to Captain Nath, so she's going to go ahead and have her get
some
attack.
value. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that'll be strike.
Yeah. Corin's just does a drive-by clawing with one of the spider legs. That thing is destroyed as it was trying to chew on Tang's spiritual weapon.
And then for the rest of the wolves, Kelly is going to cast, because she knows nobody's going to die, but humiliation could happen. So she's going to conjure 8 squirrels.
8 squirrels?
Squirrels. And she is going to place them about 10 feet away from each of the wolves. And she is going to have those squirrels try to distract the wolves because they don't seem to be too bright. So we've got a...
Okay.
Yeah,
hold on.
squirrels.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I heard you right. Let
No,
me
this
see
is
if I have a
definitely a
squirrel
squirrel
token.
moment.
All right. I don't think I have a squirrel.
Just to
Hold
see
on.
if she can cause some panic and confusion among the wolves.
Is there a squirrel stat block? There's not.
If then rats or something
No, we're
small
using
and
a rat.
rodent-like
Yeah, we're using
that's
a rat
gonna.
stat block. Hold on. Let me find a squirrel.
Sorry.
That is the most on-brand spell usage. Alice is over here thinking, Hellrast and I are going to take these wolves together. Hellrast just runs away, and he's just like,
And she
What?
She leaves you with squirrels.
yeah.
So you're making, you said 10
Oh, God.
squirrels?
Yeah.
Okay.
8 squirrels.
8 squirrels, right?
Yeah.
So
For squirrel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
She's gonna send a couple of them up here towards Dunnan.
Alright, how does that look for you?
That looks fine.
Okay.
And then the rest of the squirrels on the 6, they're gonna
Okay.
see if they can just taunt those wolves away from Aeolus.
Okay, so these are squirrels. These are not
These are squirrels.
combatants.
Yes, I'm aware.
So I'm not rolling them into initiative. I would like you to make me a check using your wisdom. Oh, sorry, your Constitution modifier. Are you proficient in intimidation?
Yes.
Okay, so you get your proficiency and your Constitution modifier, since that is your spellcasting ability. But you're effectively intimidating, or trying to intimidate these wolves into going after squirrels.
Okay.
Con save, perfect. Okay, 15. All right, we will see how this plays out as the wolves come around. Mark down that you are concentrating on your own conjure animals. That was 3rd level, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mark that down, and that brings us to the first of Arvir's champions, who is going to shift back to here and take the dodge action, playing defensive to protect the Drow. Captain Nav. Alright, what spells do we have? You don't want to play with all of my pets that I gave you. Please, enjoy the time. Done in.
Yes.
Nah, he doesn't care about you. He's going in a different direction.
Rude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, Helarast and Aeolus, I'd like dexterity saving throws, please.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
That kind of sucks. Oh, you did good.
Aeolus is great. That's good. One second, I need to roll damage. Whew. Is nasty. Alright, as he sort of looks at you, charging towards him, Dunnan, seems personally offended as he holds out his hand, and there's this crackling bolt of lightning that shoots out, striking Helarast, Aeolus, one of his wolves, which is just dead even if it passes the save, one of your squirrels, in this direction, and then ends its strike upon the rock after ricocheting off of the far wall. 2 more wolves bite the dust from it. Corwin gets to use your saves, correct?
Yes.
Roll me a dex save for Corwin. And what's Corwin's max HP right now?
21.
21. Okay. So
Save.
save or destroyed. Ooh. Okay.
Bye, Corin.
Yeah. All right. So, Aeolus, you take half damage from this. The Helarast, you just failed with the 5th. Oh no, the 15 was your con. No, you totally failed.
Yeah.
Corin is gone until reconjured. I'll just move her off the map. Aeolus, you take 17 points of lightning damage. Helarast, you take 33.
Wow.
Aeolus, you take 8.
Alrighty.
As this bolt of lightning ricochets through the area, strikes the stone about 3 feet from your head. 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nath is moving away from Dunnan. I don't want to play with you. I want you to play with my friends.
Morph.
To the next gladiator, who will move to here and has a readied stance. You come around to the Drow. The Drow vanishes. After casting a spell. Uh, 10, around to you.
The weapon is spectral, so it can go through the spiky barrier.
Correct. Yeah, it has no hit points. It is not like Corin. So it flies, it can move through. I believe you can move it 20 feet, correct?
Which puts it right in the middle of the barrier.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Oh. So it's gonna chill there. Can't quite get where it needs to be. And then as my action, I am going to use Guiding Bolt on Captain Nath.
Captain Nath, okay. Noted, you are, if you'd like to gain slightly more altitude, up to 20 feet in height, you will not have, he will not have had the half cover from the spike barricade.
Okay, I will go up 5 more feet.
Okay, you're up to 20. Go ahead and make your Guiding Bolt. Ooh. 4. That is not great. 12 is not enough to hit Captain Nath, unfortunately.
Okay.
Now you get actually the first good view of him. You see he has this studded leather armor on, and you see rotating around him that you didn't catch initially. It looks like he might have been holding it once and has let go and it just sort of floats in place. Is this shield that seems to be made out of twisting vines and roots and sort of just hovering there in space. 12 is not enough to pierce the barrier.
Okay,
Alright.
I'm gonna fly back down 3 feet, so I'm not unobscured.
Okay, sounds good. Remembered. I was wondering if you were going to forget that.
I will never.
Oh my. Alright, that's a movement bonus action. That brings us to Dunnan with the wolves, 3 of which remain on deck.
That guy over there, has he done anything?
This individual?
Yeah.
No. He is currently holding what looks to be one of the great spears of the watch. And he seems ready for any type of individual approaching. He does also carry a shield.
I'll step closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You charge towards him. The wolves will make up attacks against you.
Yeah, 22.
One of them actually gets to a 22. It's 8 points reduced to 5, and you can't be pulled prone anyway.
Con save.
Pardon?
Con save for
No.
concentration.
Oh, concentration. Thank you. Come on.
So how much damage? Sorry.
5 points. You also can't fail that con save, Dunnan. Because if the DC's, because you've hit the magic number of +9 on your con save, even if you roll a natural 1, the default DC for concentration is 10. So you can't fail basic checks unless you take 22 or more damage.
But I love that aura of protection.
Yeah, great.
So I guess he attacks me too.
Yes, there is ready to actions for anyone that approached. So that is 3 attacks. Spear attacks. Pardon me. Only one of which actually finds purchase with a 23 to hit. The others clatter off of your Shield of Faith. It is 13 points reduced to 10. And no con save. You're good. And it is your turn to continue.
Oh, I attacked twice.
Go for it. Charging into this pretty hefty. Are you throwing at the individual, or are you just charging at him?
No, melee attack.
Okay,
so I
good. Natural 1 is a failure. But
attack once, then shield bash him.
Shield dash
Cool.
bonus action. Go for it.
Yep.
That is athletics contest, correct?
Yeah. Come on, 2 1s.
Wow. All right. Well, the second one is at advantage. He got a 19 on the athletics check, so he gets knocked
sweet.
down to his knee.
Right.
So
That's
can't roll 3 natural ones, right? 21 does connect, and you get the dueling bonus here, so there's 14 points of damage. All right. Anything else done?
Honestly.
Take that as a no. That'll bring us to the wolves. One of them has to roll. They were not issued other orders. One of them is going after the collection of squirrels and annihilating a squirrel. Oh, pardon me. Hold on. Before it does that, Hellerest, I need a concentration check for conjure animals. You took 33 points of damage. I need a con save.
Gotta beat a 16. Come on, Hellerest.
Ooh.
This is gonna hurt.
Where the ones coming from?
And then it's going after Aeolus. Alright. Aeolus, Wolf is going after you.
Let's go.
18 to hit you.
Just hits.
8 points of piercing and a strength save, DC 11, to be not knocked prone.
Well, this can go well.
You are prone.
Yep.
And then 2 on Dunnan, 23 and a 20, thanks to pack tactics. That is 7 points reduced to 4.
Okay.
Alright. That's all the wolves, and that brings us to Aeolus. And I think we'll pick up with Aeolus at the start of next session.
Woo woo.
We're getting close. And this way we're starting at a good point in the initiative cycle.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. You guys wanted to fight
Shenanigans.
some of the more elite at Blackburn.
I'm such a handicap because none of them know I'm a blood hunter.
I mean, you can use your abilities.
Yeah, but Ah.
Can do it sleight of hand style.
Somebody has to.
There we go.
Has to be thrown up into the air. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll talk to
It
everyone.
can only go
next week.
poorly, right?
Okay, guys.
When they all
This is
find out
gonna be
about your stuff.
fun.
Yeah. Good session, everybody. Spending a lot of time in town. I wasn't expecting that, but that's okay. Part of the fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys next week.
Just have to raid the town again.
Bye.
All right. See you next week, guys. I gotta go.
Get attacked by
Bye-bye.
a dragon. See you guys.